Suman Sinha joins us at this moment, Renew Power, with the President of Assocham. Appreciate your joining us, Suman Sinha. What are you looking for? Lots of talk about a possible package for green energy in this budget. Is that what you would like to see? Something more specific this time?
I think, Rajdeep, first of all, thank you so much for having me. Look, I think that you have to see this budget, first of all, in the larger context. This is an election year coming up. This is a year where there is a lot of global uncertainty in terms of how the global macro will shape up. And therefore, it's very important to see what are some of the macro assumptions that the FM makes in this budget. We know that last year she was fairly conservative in the assumptions that she made, and that has resulted in the fiscal deficit hopefully being achieved. I think we need to continue with that fiscal consolidation. We need to essentially ensure that the fiscal deficit to GDP goes into a 5 handle, maybe a high 5s, somewhere in that range. I think that is very critical to continue to demonstrate fiscal prudence, as well as decrease borrowing costs, which, given inflation, if borrowing costs stay high, then obviously interest costs will stay high, and that will always bring down, as we all know, it will be a drag on the Indian economy. So I think that's number one. The second thing we have to look at is, of course, a continuation of the PLI schemes, which I think have been very popular, very good so far. I think it is something that will expand the manufacturing base of the country in the next several years and will continue to propel growth and take us on that 7 to 8% growth path in the next several years. So I think that is very important. The third thing, of course, is that to answer the question that you asked, which is what do we expect to see from a green standpoint? Look, I think that India is poised in a very interesting position right now as far as the green transition is concerned. The government has been very positive in moving forward on a number of different initiatives. Green hydrogen is obviously one area where the government has announced a national green hydrogen policy. There could be a PLI for electrolyzers. There could be further details on how the 20,000 crore package for national green hydrogen that was announced is going to be spent. Hopefully there'll continue to be some tax deductibility for making further investments in renewable energy. There could be some stuff about green bonds, for example, in the domestic market, which, as you know, the government did a green bond recently, so can the corporate sector also do green bonds to ensure further funding. Can further money be allocated, in fact, to helping further schemes in capacity addition in renewable energy, in wind and solar? And lastly, I think customs duties and GST on batteries needs to be decreased so that we can have more storage coming in faster to manage the grid. So there are a number of things that the FM can do, which will be in continuation to what the government already has been doing in our sector for the last couple of years.